Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I just wanted to make another quick video today just about the possibility, the very real possibility of Trump refusing to concede the election. And there are people on both sides, Democrats and Republicans, who do believe that if Donald Trump does lose the election, it is a very real possibility that he doesn't concede to the results. And I just want to make a quick video about the hypothetical examples of what could happen, depending on what actually unfolds on election day and the days moving forward as the votes are counted. So, of course, there is the possibility that Donald Trump does win. This is obviously less likely than Joe Biden winning the election. But if Donald Trump does win, things wouldn't change. Obviously, Donald Trump would accept the results of that election. He said many times that if the election is fair, he would accept those results, implying that he wins that election. So again, if Donald Trump wins, then nothing's going to change and there aren't any issues. Again, we're going to see a lot more protests and things like that potentially on the Joe Biden side of things. But really, there wouldn't be any problems with Donald Trump in that scenario. However, when moving on to the second hypothetical, it is that a Joe Biden wins clearly. It's a decisive victory, over 300 electoral votes, even similar to something that President Trump received in 2016. So again, there are a number of things that could happen. First of all, based on this reporting from ABC, the Biden campaign already has, their work set out for them in DC, and the Biden transition team is trying to work smoothly with Donald Trump's transition team as well to ensure a peaceful transition. So, regardless of whether or not Donald Trump concedes the election, he's still, if Joe Biden wins clearly, it will mean that he will be the next president. And if Donald Trump refuses to leave the White House, the military has repeated several times that they would intervene as well and actually force the president out of the White House in that scenario. So again, probably unlikely to happen. I think that if Joe Biden is winning clearly, the likelihood of Donald Trump, flat out refusing to concede is probably low because, again, his advisors are going to come in and say, look, Donald, you lost, 357 electoral votes to Joe Biden. The country clearly wants a different leader. And, you're going to essentially ruin your name brand if you refuse to leave the White House. And I think Donald Trump has enough sense to know that doing that would obviously lead to financial trouble for him later. His businesses would probably suffer if a incumbent president refused to leave the White House. So again, I'm not trying to be partisan here. I'm just trying to give an idea of what hypothetically could happen in that scenario. Again, if Joe Biden is winning on election night, there's also a difference between Biden winning after a few days after the election as well. Because if Joe Biden is winning clearly on election night, it really cuts off Donald Trump's paths to say that the election was fraudulent. Because again, a lot of those votes will be counted on election day. Or I'm sorry, a lot of Trump's voters are going to be counted on election day. So if Joe Biden is still winning, even before a lot of the mail-in votes, which are going to be predominantly more Democratic, are counted, that would be a very good sign for the Biden campaign, and it would be very hard for Trump to claim that the election was fraudulent if his supporters simply just didn't come out to support him, which again is likely. However, there's another scenario where if Joe Biden wins clearly, but Donald Trump might be leading on election night, Donald Trump might decide to essentially say that, look, I was the election winner. I won Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin before the rest of the mail-in votes were counted. It was 70% reporting, and I had a 2-point lead in Michigan, and I would have won if not for the mail-in votes that were counted on after the election day. And Donald Trump has said many times that he wants to see the presidency decided on election day, which again would help his odds because his supporters are coming out on election day versus Biden's who have already voted by mail. So again, that scenario where Biden wins clearly after election day could again give Trump some ammunition to try and take it to the courts to decide. And again, that nomination of Amy Coney Barrett, Brett Kavanaugh as well, saying that he would like to see the courts intervene in this election, definitely going to help his odds if it were to come to that. And that would bring us to the third example as well, which is a narrow win for either contested election. So again, a narrow win for Trump, nothing much changes. But again, uh, if Biden were to win narrowly, it gives Trump even more ammunition. He's going to say, look, he won very, very narrowly in states like Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. And I would have won the election if not for these fraudulent ballots. Again, the closer the election is, and depending on the day it's decided, the more likely we'll see that Trump contests the results. Again, he might not concede unless it is a blowout victory for Joe Biden. Joe Biden has already said that if Donald Trump wins, he will concede the election. But really looking at it, Donald Trump in this scenario will try and take it to the courts. There's no question that Donald Trump um, will try and get this decided in the Supreme Court. And it says here in this ABC article that, quote, if the Supreme Court with its present composition were to deliver a ruling that cut in Trump's favor, it would be so dramatically smack of an illegitimate intervention by the court that I don't think that would be in any way diffuse the situation. So again, the court may intervene here. And there's a question of whether or not it is legitimate for the court to intervene at all. But really, looking at it, these are kind of the three things that could happen. Trump wins, of course. Biden wins clearly. And the third is that Biden potentially wins by a narrow margin. There's a contested election, or Donald Trump wins by a narrow margin, all of which probably will entail that Donald Trump refuses to leave. And that's really what this election has come to. And obviously, there is some election protests as well happening in certain states. In Michigan, people are allowed to now bring their firearms to the polls. So again, there's going to be election day protests, election day violence as well. So again, if you are going to vote in person, make sure to be careful, because there may be election day violence where you are, and it's important to consider that. So again, thank you all so much for watching. I just thought this was an interesting article about whether Trump will concede. Obviously, Biden will concede, but it's just interesting to see nonetheless what's going to happen. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.